In this tutorial, we'll learn how to use our Infigo platform to send emails at different stages of our ordering and fulfillment process. In addition, we'll explore how to define email accounts which serve as the source of any emails that are sent or received by your system. So what we're going to do to begin with is look for the email accounts section. So I can do this just by searching for email in the search bar on the admin area and then go to email accounts. This page shows a list of the email accounts associated with your Infigo setup. Email accounts can be completed on a platform level if you wish to do so, so that the email is accessible across all of your storefronts. Or it can be configured at a storefront level if you wish for it to be available for an individual storefront. The email account that we have predefined here in a brand new platform and provided by Infigo is intended as a temporary convenience whilst you're getting to grips with Infigo and the platform. It is recommended that you update your default email account at your earliest convenience. There's a multitude of email providers available, so you could utilize Microsoft 365, Gmail, or any of the hundreds of others that are out there in the ether. So let's say, for example, we were to add a new email account. We'd go to Add New. And then this is the information that we have displayed. So in order to actually set up an email account, we'll need the email address, which is the from email address. So whether your emails you send will be registered as being received from. Email display name, so a friendly name that will appear in the list on the previous page. The mail server host name or IP address. Port numbers, so 587 or 25 are supported. Authentication username and authentication password. And selecting whether an SSL will be utilized or not. This information can be obtained from your chosen email provider. Now, I don't have any example email account to set up here, but we'll just put a couple of simple examples in. And then save. So you can see that's now been added to our list. And if I want to change the email address that's been utilized by default and the account that's been utilized by default, I can click on this button here to change the default setting. So it's also worth noting that you have the ability to send a test email to make sure that your account is functional as you expect. So if I test this out next to our Tech Support UK email account, which is the one provided by Infigo, you get to this functionality by going on Edit. And then underneath where you've put your email account details in that we've previously discussed, you have this ability to send test email. So you type in the email address that you want to send it to, and then just hit send test email. And that will confirm that the email account is set up correctly. Next, we're going to take a look at some email message templates. So again, we can just search for email. And we're going to go for email message templates. So this page contains pre-configured email templates, which are triggered by certain actions on your storefront. So for example, an email may be automatically sent to the customer when a print operator changes the job status to shipped, for example. Only some of these templates are active by default, like you can see with the little checkbox next to certain emails. Most of them are deactivated by default. The content of all of these emails can be customized by clicking the edit icon next to the template of interest. So in our example here, we'll focus on the order paid template. So that's in the order management section. There's two entries there for order paid. these separate templates allow the same action to trigger multiple emails with different recipients. So, for example, the email that gets sent to the customer, so let's say this one, that could be highly customized. It could be very much branded and made to look very, very pretty, so as you might expect from a website that you order from. However, the internal version might just need some very basic information. It can be very concise. It just needs certain information going to a certain member of our team. So therefore, we can make this one a little bit different. But both will be triggered by the same event. So what we'll do, next to one of these, we'll click on Edit. And that takes us to this screen here. Now, one thing we'll notice is that we have chameleon options for our email message templates. So we can see this with the little plus icon here. Email templates are another area of your Infigo storefront that can be controlled by Chameleon. Admins have the ability to define different email formats based on the recipient. So basically, if we want to control the email content to certain departments or certain groups of users defined by a Chameleon group, we can add that Chameleon group by clicking on this icon here. And then we get a new body, a new subject entry for that particular Chameleon group. If you want to know more about Chameleon, there are other videos that cover that content. Okay, so we can define a BCC or multiple BCC recipients, so blind carbon copy, if we wish to do so. We can define a subject for the email, and we can define a message body. The message body, as you can see here, is constructed using a HTML editor. You'll notice that you don't have the ability to switch this to a rich text editor. If you do have difficulty writing in HTML, then there are countless HTML beautifier sites available on the internet, which will allow you to create your email template and then convert it to HTML script. So essentially, you could just copy the already created template in here, find one of those HTML converters or beautifiers or however they're called, and then reformat it as you see fit, and then copy the HTML back into here. Due to the dynamic nature of email content, so things such as customer names, order details, whatever else, it's highly recommended that you utilize tokens in your message templates. So we've come across tokens a few times over the course of these tutorial videos. They obtain information from elsewhere within Infigo, with their value updated based on the current situation that the system finds itself in. So for example, when they're looking at a particular order or when a certain user is logged in, then the information drawn into that particular field will be changed. Tokens are found on the right-hand side of your message templates. You simply click on your token of choice. That will copy it to your clipboard, and then you can paste it into your message. And you'll even see that with the predefined message template that we have here, there's a lot of tokens already included, including in the subject line. They can be included in multiple places. Underneath the main body of text, you can choose the email account that you wish to send the email from. So you'll see that we have both of the email accounts directly available, so we can directly choose one if we wish to do so, or we can just utilize whatever's specified as the default account. And then finally, we have the ability to send a test email at the bottom of the screen here. So to verify the content of your email template, you can send a test email. Just enter the recipient email address here and hit send test email. Now, of course, you need to make sure that you're sending this from an email account which is correctly set up. Otherwise, that won't work as expected. When we finish making changes to our email template, make sure you save that using the button at the top of the screen. That will now be updated. And if you want to actually utilize that particular email template and want it to send once that particular stage is hit, then you need to make sure that is active is selected. The last thing we might want to look at here is the message queue. So this is where you can keep an eye on the emails that have been sent out by the system. By default, it will show you a list of emails that have not successfully been sent. And if you want additional information on any of those emails, you can go on the edit icon next to that particular email. From here, it will give you information on that particular email, including when it was created, how many send attempts there's been, if it was successfully sent, and you have the ability to re-queue this email as well if you wish to try and resend it